it and look forward to using it for some other things. So thank you again for being here. I want to thank the audience, of course, for watching this episode. I hope you learned a little bit more about large language models, how they can be used, where they shouldn't be used, and of course, how you can take advantage of them to really impact your business and impact your daily lives. So with that, again, I'm your host, Dr. Alan Badeau. I appreciate you watching, and come back next week. We're going to have some more interesting topics. So thank you.
This has been a NowMedia Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to Legal Talk. Man, oh man, I'm so happy. I'm overflowing with joy today, actually. Look at this face. This looks like a happy face, right? And the reason why I'm happy, because I got all the audience out there with us. I'm very pleased, very happy to have everybody out there watching the big show. And hopefully I can bring some really good content to you. Now, I'm a guy that likes to learn things. I like to know things, right? Just anything in general, right? And by the way, if you're a lawyer, if you got a lawyer out there and he doesn't, he's not intellectually curious, he doesn't like to learn things and know new things, man, just a red flag there, right? I'm not saying change lawyers. I can't tell you that, but if your guy is not out there like learning new things, then, you want to think about that a little bit, right? And I recently learned, funny enough, right, that on a microwave oven, there's a button that says popcorn, and I found out there's two ways that can work, right? The first way is there's a sensor they can put in the microwave that picks up on the moisture and the air, and when your microwave popcorn has finished popping, there's a change in the moisture, and the sensor can pick that up and shut the microwave off. The other way that they can do it's a little bit cheaper for the manufacturer. They can go ahead and just put it a timer, so when you push that popcorn button, really all you're doing on most models is just setting the time. So the more you know, right? And so I like to learn things, and that's one thing that I've picked up recently. And also, here's a thing for everybody out there to pick up on and know. Most of you folks out there work at a job and you get at the end of the year a Form W-2, right? So if you get that Form W-2, now the W-2, what it's supposed to be, box one is the total amount of wages that you received during the year, right? So that's the gross pay. Box number two on the W-2 form is how much they deducted in federal taxes, So then the other boxes are having to do with Medicare, Social Security, and all that, right? So I'm going to go into all the details about a W-2, but mainly just know that box one, that's the important one. That's the one that's going to go in your tax return, and that is the number of the gross amount of money that you made this year, right? Or this past year, if it's this year's W-2, right? So that's the thing about it. Now, if you look at that and you say, holy crap, look at that, it doesn't match, right? Something doesn't look right. They've calculated things wrong, whatever. It happens. I mean, it's not super common, but that does happen. So if you look at your pay stubs throughout the year and you say, well, pay stubs add up to one thing, amount of money they deducted federal taxes, that adds up to something, and then you look at your W-2, it doesn't match, right? What do you do about that, right? Because that W-2, that's an important thing. That's what your employer is going to report to the IRS. So the IRS is going to think that that's the amount of money that you made, and they're going to think that that's the amount of money that you had withheld from your wages, right? So it's important that has to be, kind of correct, right? So what you do, the first thing that you should do, if you have a W-2 form in your hands and you say, yeah, it's not quite right, the very first step is to contact your employer. Because if your employer can catch it early on enough, they usually issue W-2s to the employee a little bit, like anywhere from a few days to a couple of weeks before they actually send the information to the IRS. They may be able to correct that for you and give you a corrected W-2. You're going to know that it's a corrected W-2 because up at the top of the form, there's a little check box. And if it's checked off where it says corrected, then that is your corrected W-2, right? So if you have an incorrect W-2, the very first step is try to talk to your employer, try and get them to make a corrected form for you. And that's going to be the easiest and best way for you to fix that, right? Now, if on the other hand, you can't get a hold of your employer, I have seen this myself, right? Sometimes you can't get a hold of the company, went out of business, it changed ownership, whatever the case may be, and you can't get a hold of them and you can't get them to, straighten up and get you a corrected form, right? Well, the next thing that you want to do is call the 800 number at the IRS. 1-800-829-1040. That's the general number for taxpayers with 1040 issues. You call it up and it's going to be, take a big patience pill, right? Because when you call the IRS, you might be anywhere from 15, 30 minutes to up to a couple of hours on hold, right? So the thing you want to do is make sure that you call when you have plenty of time to wait, because if you wait an hour and that was going to be maybe hour and 15, they were going to answer the call, you hang up. Next time you call back, it's not like they saved a place in line for you, so you're going to have to call back and wait all over again. So make sure that when you dial the IRS, you've got plenty of time on your hands that you can wait for them to answer the phone, take care of your needs. Now, these folks at the IRS, they're good people and they're doing their best. They got limited resources to work with and all, and so they can kind of they're going to help you best they can 99% of the time, right? So that's the next step. So you called the company, you couldn't get them to issue a corrected form. Then the next step is call the IRS and tell the IRS assister that answers the phone, tell him or her that your W-2 is correct, you got pay stubs, they don't match, whatever the case may be, and you're going to tell them that your W-2 is wrong, and they are going to send a letter from the IRS to your employer, and that might get their attention, right? That might be the employer didn't pay attention to you, maybe they pay attention to the IRS, right? So IRS is going to send them a letter, an inquiry letter, and say, hey, have reason to believe that this W-2 might be wrong, please check it, et cetera, right? And so they'll have 10 days to answer that letter and tell the IRS, yes, I reviewed the W-2, it's correct, it's not correct, here's the right numbers, whatever case may be, right? So that's the next step, right? So call the IRS, they're going to send a letter to the company where you worked, try and take care of it, right? Very last thing that you can do if you have a W-2 and you know that it's not quite right, something's wrong, they didn't pick up on all the money that was withheld, whatever case may be, right? And you went to the employer and they were unable to help you out or didn't want to or didn't do it, whatever it might be, and then you called the IRS sent a letter. And now by now it's maybe the end of February, right? First couple of weeks of March, and you want to file your tax return. So what do you have to do then? There is a form 4852, and you can do, and the form 4852 is called a substitute W-2. So what you do is you fill out the substitute W-2 with what you think are the correct numbers, send that to the IRS along with your tax return, and that is good. They're going to process that. Now, what you want to do probably is attach a statement, a free form. You can write it on, write out by hand if you want to, right? You can write in a statement and say, "Dear IRS, 4852, even though I got a W-2 form, W-2 was wrong. I took this and that step. I tried to fix it, couldn't get it fixed. Here's the correct numbers," and they are going to process your tax return. They might might send you a letter and ask for more details, more information, but eventually they're going to be able to process that tax return with the correct numbers that you are now giving them. So step one, go to the company, try and get it corrected. Step two, call the 800 number. IRS sends a letter. Step three, if none of that worked, 4852, substitute for return, and that is going to, eventually you may have to jump through some hoops. It may take a little extra time, but IRS is going to eventually process that tax return with the correct numbers. They might even ask you to send copies of proof, deposits to your bank account, bank statements. They may ask for, pay stubs, and if you've got this information, you got the documents to back it up, then you're going to be fine. And IRS will eventually take extra time, jump through some hoops, but IRS eventually going to go ahead and process that tax return. And that's what you do if you get a W-2 form from your employer and it is not correct. So that is it. My name is John Mitchell, tax attorney extraordinaire, right here in the heart of Houston, Texas. And if you have tax questions, you can always call me, 713-333-0555, or you can email me. Even better way to get in touch with me, by email, jmitchell@cctaxlaw.com. And that I will either answer you or give you a call, or maybe if it's a question that is a burning question, right? Room is filling with smoke because it's a burning question, and the question, I see that's a question that's going to be applicable to a lot of people. Maybe I'll make your question into a segment here on the big show and, give that answer for everybody so everybody can benefit. Okay, so we are going to go right now to some quick, very brief commercial breaks. Stand up, stretch your legs, go to the kitchen, get a beverage of your choice, whatever it may be, and we will be right back after these commercials.
How would you like to go on a 5-star vacation for just $99? We're talking about the quality of a Westgate resort for $99. Not for one night, but for 3 fantastic nights at one of their luxurious destinations across the United States. And you'll even get a free $100 Visa gift card just for making a reservation. We've got some of the choicest destinations that you'll love in the United States that you can choose from for just $99 for a 3-night stay. Take your family, take a special loved one, but get away. Go on vacation with Westgate Resorts. Call now to make a reservation for just $99, and you get a free $100 Visa gift card. Call Westgate right now and book your vacation. Here's the number.
Call 877-930-3491. That's 877-930-3491. Again, 877-930-3491.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
All right, folks. Hey, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that little brief interlude, the brief commercial breaks. We got to take that, got to pay some bills around here. And so we are back right here with Legal Talk. I've got another topic, question came in, right? People want to know, burning question. You got smoke-filled room because the question is burning, right? Everybody wants to know about this. Let's say you work for an employer, right? You get paid, you go to work, you get paid. A couple different ways that can be handled, right? So you either get, at the end of the year, a W-2 form, or you're going to get a 1099 form, right? And so the question has come up, hey, John, people have asked me, what's the difference between a W-2 form and a Form 1099 MISC or a Form 1099 NEC? Now, so let me back up a bit, right? So if you're working throughout the year and you're working for an employer, you get a paycheck, right? And you get, a stub that comes with that paycheck. That pay stub is going to show, okay, you work, let's say you make $25 an hour, right? You work 40 hours, that's $1,000, right? Your check's not $1,000. We all know this, right? So where does that extra money go, right? If your check is less than the $1,000 that the number of hours says it's supposed to be, right? Then they should give you a check stub that's going to show how much money was withheld. There's usually going to be, depending on where you are, right? Here in Texas, it's mostly you got 3 different deductions from your paycheck, right? So you got your federal tax withholding, then you got your Medicare, and then you got your Social Security tax, right? Other states, have state tax withheld, and some states even is like New York. If you live in Manhattan or whatever, you're going to have a city tax withheld, right? So all of those taxes are going to be deducted, and then you're going to get the check is actually going to be for your net pay. Now, if you see that happening, then so if you add up all of those check stubs throughout the year, it's supposed to match whatever is on the W-2 form. So W-2 form is just a summary at the end of the year, and that's going to show you the gross amount that you made and how much was taken out for each thing, right? So it's going to show you your federal tax, your Social Security, Medicare, etc., right? So a W-2 form is really just a summary form that's going to show you all that information, added up for the entire year, right? So all your paycheck stubs should add up to the numbers that's on your W-2 form if you are being paid as an employee, a W-2 statutory employee, right? So that's how it should work. Now, let's say you're you got a little bit different situation going on, right? You might not get taxes withheld from your pay during the year. And that's going to be at the end of the year, all of the gross amounts, because you don't get a net pay, you get your gross, right? So you $25 an hour, you work 40 hours, you get your $1,000 check, right? No taxes withheld. So in that case, at the end of the year, the sum total of all your checks should add up to your 1099 form. And there's there's more than 2, but mainly we're talking here about 2 different kinds of 1099 forms, right? Get my tongue tied here. So 1099 NEC and a 1099 MISC. Now, the MISC was all there was. There used to be a NEC. It went away. Now it's back as of about 3 or 4 years ago. And so NEC stands for non-employee compensation. And that is going to be people that work kind of in the style of a W-2 employee, right? Your boss has a place of business. You show up there, you work, you get paid, but for whatever reason they've determined, or together you guys have determined that you're not an employee, you're not going to have taxes withheld, so they're going to give you at the end of the year, supposed to be a 1099 NEC, right? Non-employee compensation. So that's just going to be the amount of money that you made, no taxes withheld, and that's going to show, at the end of the year, it's your summary again, right? Now that form, W-2 and 1099s, they don't only come to you, they go to the IRS. So the IRS knows how much money you made during the year, or at least they know what your boss says you made during the year. And again, like I said before, there can be mistakes that can happen, whatever, but usually these are correct. And so you're going to have either a W-2 or you're going to have a 1099 NEC. Now, There's another one, 1099 MISC. MISC just stands for miscellaneous. That is miscellaneous payments, right? So let's say, like me, I'm a lawyer, right? Let's say I do some legal work, but I don't work as an employee of that company, whoever hired me, right? At the end of the year, they may issue me a 1099 MISC because I really and truly am acting as an independent businessman, right? I didn't work only for them. I didn't show up, on a routine and regular basis. MISC is more like a one-off, or MISC can also be for a situation where you're getting, rental payments, for example. I own a building. I rent that building out to a corporation as their office space, and now at the end of the year, business that's renting my space, the company, they're going to give me a 1099 MISC, and that in that case, it's because this is not for work that I did for them. This is for rents, let's say. Also, another way is royalties. That also can go on a MISC, and there's other things like farming and fishing type things, but mostly we're talking about workers here. So if you get a 1099 MISC, sometimes employers, because for years the NEC went away and there was only MISC. Some companies have not gotten the memo yet, and they're still giving MISCs. Not really a big deal from your standpoint as a taxpayer, because you handle that form the same way, right? You get that form, you put it on what is known as a Schedule C. C is in car, right? So you get put your Schedule C. Your tax guy is going to put your whatever's on the 1099, or if you got more of them, more 1099s, you're going to add all those up, put that on the top line, take out the expenses, boom, you got your net profit. Pay your taxes based on that. So that is the difference, folks, between a W-2 and a 1099. And those 1099s, we're breaking it down for purposes of this discussion, breaking it down to MISC or a 1099 NEC, which stands for non-employee compensation. That is the difference between those forms, right? So again, said it before, say it again. John Mitchell, tax attorney, Houston, Texas. Happy to get your calls, happy to get your emails. If you have burning tax questions, just give me a shout out, and I'll be happy to either chat with you for a few minutes on the phone. You can see if you want to hire me, if you've got a tax issue, IRS charging you a bunch of money, come see me. I take care of it, try my best to anyway. And so that's that. So 713-333-0555, or you can email me. Even better way to get a hold of me, by email, jmitchell@cctaxlaw.com. And I think that we are going to go to some more commercial breaks. We're going to take a real quick break, and you guys get a chance to stretch your legs again, whatever it is, and I will be right back with more legal talk after this.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Godet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
diabetes? If you have insurance, you may qualify for a new continuous glucose monitor. With a CGM, you can continuously track your levels and trends, spend more time in range, significantly lower your A1C, and share important data with loved ones and caregivers. Most importantly, a CGM eliminates the one thing most people with diabetes hate: painful finger sticks. Take charge of your health. Order your new continuous glucose monitor today. If you use insulin and have seen your diabetes care provider within the last 6 months, you may qualify for a CGM today. We'll do all the insurance paperwork and deliver your new CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost to you. Medicare and most insurances cover continuous glucose monitors, so don't wait. Have your insurance handy and call the CGM Health Hotline now.
If you're on supplemental oxygen, heavy and awkward tanks can be a burden. Now you can leave home and leave the tanks behind with Inogen, portable oxygen therapy that moves with you.
With my Inogen, now I'm able to do the things that I've always loved. I just press the button here, and there's my oxygen.
Inogen systems are so small and light, you're free to leave the house without the hassles of an oxygen tank.
I could play golf again. I could go grocery shopping. I'm free again.
With the Inogen, I can handle my own oxygen. I can carry my own oxygen. I go anywhere with this. Look how small it is.
And right now, you can try an Inogen portable oxygen system for 30 days risk-free. Call us right now. If you qualify, we'll send you an Inogen system to use for 30 days risk-free. Your insurance may even cover your new Inogen system.
If you're on oxygen, you need to be using an Inogen.
Call 800-367-1753. That's 800-367-1753.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. And if you have Medicare or private insurance, you can see if you qualify for a CGM at little or no out-of-pocket cost. We'll also provide free shipping of your new CGM, and we'll bill your insurance company for you. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline to see if you qualify for a CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Legal Talk. I am your host, John Mitchell, as you know. And boy, oh boy, I am overflowing with excitement and joy because, you know, I couldn't see these bags under my eyes. I couldn't sleep last night because I knew that today I was going to get to talk to international man of mystery and international problem-solving attorney, Jay Menes. Jay is with us here today. Jay, welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony Mitchell. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing very well, sir. Doing very well. Like I told you, man, recording day is my favorite day of the week because I get to chat with interesting folks like you. And I had a burning question in my mind, right? I've been thinking about this for days. Hope that you can answer it for me, right? Let me know, because I wanted to talk a little bit about paymaster attorneys and the role of paymaster, however you say that. So maybe you can clear that up for us. What is an attorney paymaster?
Well, thank you. That's a good question. Generally, in international transactions, whether you are trying to sell something or you are trying to raise money for projects, large sums of money are involved. When we talk, we are talking about hundreds of millions of dollars. And these kinds of money is not something that you just entrust into anybody's hands. And banks themselves don't, for instance, if you are trying to get a project funded, and you raise the money through the bank does not really want to be responsible for the person to be the person that disburses the money to each and every part of the project. Now that's where a paymaster comes in. A paymaster is a neutral person. They are not involved in the project or in the transaction themselves. Their job is simply to receive the money and disburse it according to strict instructions. Now, we have to be clear. You don't necessarily have to be an attorney to be a paymaster. Anybody can be a paymaster. The problem is when you are just an anybody, there are no checks and balances. There's no regulation to guide you or to restrict what you do. With an attorney, they are already strictly regulated by the state bar. So the state bar knows what an attorney is doing. The state bar knows what an attorney is not supposed to do. And the state bar is keenly watching to take that attorney to the cleaners if the attorney does the wrong stuff. Also, in each state of the United States, every lawyer is required to have what is called an IOTA account. Now, an IOTA account is generally what the lawyers would use for their paymaster services. But I'm sure we'll get to an IOTA account in a little bit. But the simple answer to the question is, I've already explained what a paymaster is. Now, an attorney paymaster is simply a lawyer playing the role of a paymaster. That lawyer is not involved in the transaction. They are not representing any particular clients in the deal. They are simply there to receive the money into their IOTA account and disburse it according to the party's instructions.
All right. Well, that is excellent information. Geez, I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hose here. It's so much information. So let me back up just a smidge, make sure that I understood everything correctly. So a paymaster, when we use the word paymaster, we're just talking about a neutral third party that has been kind of brought in. They're not otherwise involved in the transaction, and they are just a neutral third party that is going to handle the money according to these very strict instructions, right? And did I hear you correctly that you don't have to be an attorney to be a paymaster? So is that right? Anybody can be a paymaster?
Exactly. You don't necessarily have to be an attorney to be a paymaster. Anybody can be a paymaster. And even though I talked about paymaster services involving hundreds of millions, a paymaster service can involve any amount, actually. $10,000 can be involved in a paymaster service simply because there are many people to be, for instance, if you have up to 5 people that need to receive money out of that $10,000, and you want somebody who is neutral to handle it, to make sure that everybody gets their money, make sure that everybody is accounted for, then you hire a paymaster to play the role.
Yeah, I mean, I am kind of familiar with this whole concept because not on a regular basis, but a few times here and there, I've handled money as part of, real estate transactions and stuff. And so you got to, be careful. An attorney has a duty. And so I guess that's kind of the advantage that people would have in using an attorney as a paymaster, because we are kind of strictly overseen by regulatory, bodies like the state bar. And so tell me what you mentioned a special kind of an account. Now, you and I are attorneys. Let me ask you this, right? Start off with this question, right? All right, so if I'm going to be a paymaster or you're going to be a paymaster, can I just take money from a transaction and just deposit it to my personal checking account and hold the money there? Would that be all right?
No, you cannot. You cannot. That's the whole thing about paymaster. You have to have a special account designated for that purpose. Now, this is where having a lawyer as a paymaster actually serves you better. because with a lawyer, every lawyer in almost every state I know of, I haven't heard of any state in the United States that doesn't require lawyers to segregate funds that don't belong to them. Now remember, the funds in the account doesn't belong to the lawyer. So because it doesn't belong to the lawyer, you cannot commingle it with your regular checking account or your payroll account or some other account. No, you cannot do that. You have to put it aside, and that's where an IOTA account becomes necessary for lawyers.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to handle some money as part of a transaction. That's not my money. I need to segregate those funds. So can you tell us what does IOTA? What does that? That's a weird word, right? Like acronym, I guess you'd say, better yet. But what does that stand for, and what's the significance of an IOTA account? More to the point, how is the state bar involved in that?
It is, yeah, it is. In fact, a weird name. IOTA is IOLTA. That means interest on lawyers' trust accounts. Now, what an IOTA simply means is an account that is segregated by the lawyer. This account does not, like I've mentioned, does not have funds belonging to the lawyer. There is no commingling between the lawyer's funds or the lawyer's, if the lawyer is in a firm, the operating account of operating monies of the firm cannot be commingled with the money in the IOTA account. The simple reason, like I mentioned, is the money in the IOTA account does not belong to the lawyer. It belongs to other people. And the lawyer has strict instructions on how to distribute and disburse this money. Now, the state bar is involved because every IOTA account that is set up in almost every state I know of, especially here in Texas, the state bar is notified. In fact, every lawyer has to certify to the state bar almost, I think every year, really, that yes, I have an IOTA account. Yes, here's my IOTA, which bank I have my IOTA account with. And yes, everything is going well. You basically the state bar wants to know what's going on. And every month, the state bar also gets a statement sort of from the bank to know. So this is really the eagle eye watching the lawyer to know what the lawyer is doing with the money. Now, you see, this also goes back to why should I employ a non-attorney state bar, non-attorney paymaster, when I know that an attorney paymaster is going to be better for me in terms of entrusting large sums of money. So that's really, that goes to the core of why an attorney paymaster is better than just an ordinary person out there who claims to be a paymaster.
Yes, sir. Well, that is all excellent information, man. We sure do appreciate you being on the show with us. As always, we always appreciate it, and appreciate it even more today. So what I want to tell folks out there, just to kind of wrap it up a little bit, put a bow on this big conversation, I tell everybody out there, if you have any kind of a transaction going on, you want to have a neutral third party handle the money, be sure and use an attorney paymaster, because we are, under the watchful eye of the state bar, and not going to be any funny business handling those funds, right? And especially you, number one, want to call up Jay Menes and have him help you, walk you through your transaction, act as a paymaster, or maybe you'll recommend somebody else, whatever the case may be. But definitely call Jay if you got some kind of a issue and you want to get a paymaster, and you want that to be an attorney, so that you can have a level of trust, confidence, seriousness in the way that the money is being handled, right? So Jay, one final question. If people out there need a paymaster and they want to get in touch with you, how would they go about doing that?
Very easy, very easy. They can easily send me an email at lawyermenace@proton.me. lawyermenace proton.me. They can also reach me on any social media. All you got to do is look for the handle Lawyer Menace. For email, very easy. Oh, I've already given my email for phone. It's easy also. If you are here in the United States, call me up, 214-335-6011. If you are calling outside of the United States, you have to put +1 214-335-6011. +1 214-335-6011. We cover all over the world. We have clients in Mexico. We have clients in South America, everywhere. So I'll be glad to help folks.
Excellent. Well, folks, you heard it right there. Attorney, superstar attorney Jay Menace, international man of mystery, problem solver. Give him a call if you need any of these types of services. Just remember this, right? I'll leave it with this. Deal with the best and forget about all the rest. So that is Attorney Menace for you. So thanks very much, Attorney Menace, for being with us today. And thank you to the audience for being with us. Hang tight. We got one more little commercial break coming up. And then we're going to be right back with a little bit more legal talk, and stick with us. All right.
How would you like to go on a 5-star vacation for just $99? We're talking about the quality of a Westgate resort for $99. Not for one night, but for 3 fantastic nights at one of their luxurious destinations across the United States. And you'll even get a free $100 Visa gift card just for making a reservation. We've got some of the choicest destinations that you'll love in the United States that you can choose from for just $99 for a 3-night stay. Take your family, take a special loved one, but get away. Go on vacation with Westgate Resorts. Call now to make a reservation for just $99, and you get a free $100 Visa gift card. Call Westgate right now and book your vacation. Here's the number.
Call 877-930-3491. That's 877-930-3491. Again, 877-930-3491.
If you're on supplemental oxygen, heavy and awkward tanks can be a burden. Now you can leave home and leave the tanks behind with Inogen, portable oxygen therapy that moves with you.
With my Inogen, now I'm able to do the things that I've always loved. I just press the button here, and there's my oxygen.
Inogen systems are so small and light, you're free to leave the house without the hassles of an oxygen tank.
I could play golf again. I could go grocery shopping. I'm free again.
With the Inogen, I can handle my own oxygen. I can carry my own oxygen. I go anywhere with this. Look how small it is.
And right now, you can try an Inogen portable oxygen system for 30 days risk-free. Call us right now. If you qualify, we'll send you an Inogen system to use for 30 days risk-free. Your insurance may even cover your new Inogen system.
If you're on oxygen, you need to be using an Inogen.
Call 800-367-1753. That's 800-367-1753.
Hi, my name is Michelle Merhar. You may remember me from the morning news. I'd like to tell you how getting data and documents into action fast gives you a competitive edge. Digital-first thinking to manage document workflows efficiently are giving all organizations a competitive edge. In fact, digital document automation is an essential process, helping us to become more profitable and to compete. By making any process paperless with secure automation, decisions can be made efficiently, virtually from anywhere. You'll be able to find and share documents securely in seconds. Your staff will be empowered by making optimal use of every office hour. And by the way, the size of your organization doesn't matter. Precision Products has been helping organizations for more than 30 years with paper to digital processes, including scanning systems for any document to premises and cloud document management systems. We make it easy and scalable for your business process needs from the office or other locations, even mobile devices. Contact us to see how we can help your organization succeed. Contact Will Waterall direct at 713-446-5939 and visit us on the web at precisionproductsinc.com.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Well, welcome back, everybody, man. I hope everybody had a really good little commercial break there. Got a chance to get up, you stretch your legs, you got a hot or cold beverage of your choice, maybe both, man. It's a happy day. Maybe you got two beverages of your choice. How about that, right? Well, we are on the home stretch of the big show today. Legal Talk about to come to we're going to come in for a nice smooth landing, right? We're on the home stretch, and definitely for sure, we have definitely saved the best for last. And we got Ryan Cohn back with us, today, giving us some great information about, company culture and law firms and all that good stuff. So I want to welcome back Ryan to the show. Thank you for being with us again, and welcome back to Legal Talk, sir.
John, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me back, and it's great to see you again.
Yes, sir. Hey, so, last thing that we talked about led into a question that, came to my mind, right? This thing's been, it's a rock in my shoe, man. I need to ask about this. And it's all about creating a positive company culture. Now, all of us have been there, done that, when there's not a good positive company culture, right? We've all been in those toxic workplaces. So why is it, first of all, especially in the context of a law firm, why is it so important to have a good quality company culture?
Well, I would say in the overall conversation, not just law firms, but all companies need to really strive to achieve a good working culture together. There may be some exceptions, like just purely remote companies and things like that, but it really comes to a pinnacle point of emphasis in a law firm because of the dynamics in which they operate. They have an ever-changing landscape, and they don't know what clientele or what case or what timetable they're going to be on with the court systems and mediations and things like that. So being able to function as a well-cultured team is of the utmost importance.
Okay, well that explains it, so that's why, so you got a kind of a special dynamic. I mean, every company culture needs to be, positive to get the best results, but especially law firms with that, that dynamic changing situation that's always going on, right? We know all about that. So tell us now, let's say I've got a law firm, which I do, and so let's say I've got a law firm and I want to do take some steps, right? I want to get that positive culture in place. What kind of steps should I be looking at? What kind of steps should I be taking in order to get that company culture on the right track with you?
Beautiful question, John. The first step I tell people to do is change their hiring practices. Change the way that they look for, screen, interview, and then hire people. If you can change that, you will start from day one, week one, year one with your new hires and your new employees with the desired culture you want. So pedigree is very important. Education is very important in the legal realm, as it is with accounting and consulting, but culture is actually more important. You could hire somebody based on the way that they're going to fit with personality type, with initiative and drive, and all of the things that are going to work with the way that you communicate and deal with clients and organizational patterns. All of those things are important and can be screened for along with the pedigree and education. So that would be the first step. The second step would be to take the overt actions to announce to the company that we are looking to move our culture to a new area, to a new vision where we want to interact with each other and our clients and the court systems and all of the other professionals out there in this style. So here's our vision, here's our goal. And so step number 2 is announcing the vision. And then 3 is here's the action plans and the steps we're going to take to reinvent or refocus our culture and the way that we operate amongst ourselves and outward towards others.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is be sure that you get the right people in the door. You know, you got your hiring and retention, got your pedigree. That's very important. Number two, you're going to announce that you've got a new game plan, right? You're going to announce and make sure that's all out there on the table. And so let's see if you do all of that stuff, right? What kind of benefit can I expect as far as getting clients in the door, getting the right clients, retaining the clients, making sure that they are all satisfied? How, what kind of benefits is all this going to give me?
You're going to see the one benefit that you were just mentioning, which is maybe a different, better type of clientele. The other thing is you're going to have the internal benefits as well. So if you can get your interns and your law clerks and your record clerks and your administrators to work with your associates and your partners and all of those senior level people, and they can now see the vision together. Everything is going to move towards accomplishing that ultimate vision. Everyone understands what their place is in the big mechanism. They know that their cog in the wheel, so to speak, is important and how it serves the bigger picture. In developing that culture, you also want to develop a culture of service. So if I know that my part of the overall legal machine supports these other people, I'm going to do my best to then hand off my work to the next person so that they have a ribbon wrapped around it and can then go do their best work as well. So if I understand my purpose, how it plugs into the vision, and how it supports the other team members, that is going to be a massive benefit. The clients will then feel that. They will experience, they will now start to recognize a white glove treatment that they're getting, and it will be an overall impact that snowballs you to a higher level of success.
Okay, well, there you go, man. Very important, very important stuff to keep in mind. Okay, so now tell us, if you can, what kind of, you have any kind of words of wisdom, like a success story, something that you've been able to accomplish, getting that good company culture out there. Because let me tell you this, I do know what you're talking about, right? It's the 80-20 principle. We've all heard of that, right? So 80% of your clients are going to give you 20% of your headaches, and vice versa. 20% of your clients are going to give you 80% of your headaches. And so attracting not just clients, the right kind of clients for your practice. So what kind of success story can you tell us?
I'll give you a real fun success story, and maybe it won't be immediately into the client one, because the first one that pops into my head was actually a tax attorney. So this, I've done general criminal law, civil law, corporate attorneys, tax attorneys. This one happened to be a tax attorney, and he had all of his roles and his people placed throughout the company. And any one case or any one project that came up would be assigned to the next most available person, and then this administrator here, and this paralegal and intern here, and then, hey, you're going to be the person running with the case. You're going to be the attorney in charge. And it was very disconnected, and the leadership specifically could not keep track. I know, let's just say Johnny has the case, but I don't know who's supporting him in this case. So we did the formation of teams, and we matched people up by, of course, job role, but personality type and communication styles and things like that, and placed them into teams in their firm. So now the client was always handed to the same team. New client comes in the door, they get the same team of people, and they actually were able to develop continuity. They were able to learn each other's little preferences and idiosyncrasies and navigate around those. The efficiency that was driven home and the client service that was provided on a much more effective and efficient level really transitioned that team into the gold star standard. And they eventually did the entire firm that way. And the clients, again, they step into a team and have all this level of support, and it's consistent. Made a lot of big smiles on their clients' faces.
Man, oh man, I love what you said there. I'm gonna capture that phrase and stick it in my pocket, right? Gold star standard, and you definitely want to be putting a smile on your client's face. You want them to go out there and you've been their advocate, now you want them to be your advocate. You want them to go out, tell all their friends, tell all their business contacts, hey, if you got XYZ problem, go see my guy. He took really good care of me, him and his team. Okay, so one final substantive question before we get to our call to action, right? I'm going to ask you this, right? So I'm understanding you're going to go through all this process. It's going to be, a great result in the end, give you a result that you want and all. But it is a process, and so talk to us just in 1 or 2 minutes, if you can. What kind of involvement are we going to be looking for the leadership of the law firm versus the rank and file? What's everybody's part in this? How does it all fit together?
Wonderful question. It always starts with leadership. So in order to really capitalize on change, the leaders must be bought in. They must be uniform in saying, we want to move forward in redeveloping and redefining our culture. And the one thing that I always tell people to do is make a list. Hey, let's make a quick 3 to 5 list of what are the things that need to change, what is broken, right? And then on the second half of that page, write the 3 to 5 things that can fix that list. What actions or what skills, behaviors, softwares, whatever it is, can change that list. And the big thing that I tell those leaders in that first meeting, if you are looking at a list and it doesn't have, I need to do this and I need to change that and I need to stop such and such, if it is not littered with I statements, but it's instead littered with you and other people's names, you're looking at the wrong list. You need the statement that starts with, I will make the change. So it always starts at the top with the leadership. That's the big part, is that we develop those pain points. We figure out what they can first do to change. Then they can expose their willingness to change to the rest of the firm to drive towards that vision, and continued steps and action plans are developed from there. But again, always start at the top.
All right. Hey, those are wonderful words of wisdom, because, it all starts at the top and everything flows down from there, right? And so, I heard this a long time ago. I don't remember who said it, but a leader leads by leading. So you got to show the way, show your people that you're actually committed to all this, and you're going to see the great results that you want to see. And I would highly recommend, actually, everybody out there, if you want to, put this process in motion, go ahead and talk to my good friend Ryan, and he is going to set you on the right path. He's a consultant extraordinaire, and he's going to get you on the right track, right? So if people want to find you, Ryan, how do they go about doing that?
Thank you. I appreciate all those kind words, John. And the best way would probably be to start with the website. That's csbizcon.com. That's csbizcon.com. Or you could send an email to the same thing, ryan@csbizcon.com. And then our phone number is 270-442-6688. And we share that phone number with my accounting firm. So just tell them which one you want to talk to, the accounting firm or CS Business Consulting. And the number will be transferred appropriately from there.
Excellent. Well, that is great information as always. So happy to have you here on the program, overflowing with joy. And we have gotten a lot of good information today. Audience out there, be sure and call Ryan when you need some help with all this consulting stuff. And that does it for our Biz Talk. Legal Talk. I'm on the wrong show. Legal Talk today. So that does it for that. And thanks very much for being with us. And we will see you next time on Legal Talk with John Mitchell. Thanks for being with us, folks.
This has been a NowMedia Networks feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
Call 855 855-993-2096 right now. That's 855-993-2096.
If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of pricking your fingers over and over again. By wearing a small device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of pricking your fingers right away. If you use insulin daily, you might be eligible to get your own continuous glucose monitor. So call the US Med Diabetic Health Hotline today and learn about the latest CGM technology. Not only can a CGM immediately reduce pain, it's accurate